Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our flight in discovering one new Chinese expression a day. We come across a few wealth-related concepts and business 101s in Chinese lately. And yesterday we talked about the most commonly heard used phrase when Chinese are not congratulating, but wishing each other Happy New Year. They use make a fortune, like wish you, congratulate you already making a fortune. Isn't that a super interesting social interaction? Okay, today we continue with 恭 in 毕恭毕敬. Today is a total different change from the streaks from the last few episodes. That's about wealth. I guess each culture has its own obsession about wealth. So I just displayed to you by a few expressions in Chinese about the attitude of Chinese in terms of wealth. So today, 毕恭毕敬 is more about attitude of each other. Your attitude toward somebody who is more higher in rank, or somebody who is more powerful. In a power structure, a society is higher rank than you are. So that's the attitude you're told to take, which is 毕恭毕敬, complete salute, complete caution. Okay, just hear that. Okay, it's almost like unimaginable in American culture, right? Even if you and your boss, like you probably don't take that. You can still joke around. You still can talk. You can still have your own voice. You don't have to take that position of complete salute, complete caution. Okay, let's unpack. This complete concept came from this hunting-gatherer society, this capturing of animals, either birds or rodents in the field. So this is the field. Chinese way of field is a block, a space, and with a cut in the middle. So this cross in the middle simply means piece of land cut into smaller portions because it's going to be distributed between different households. There was no big farmers back then. Individual household run small farm. That's the ideal, at least. So that's field. Then the bottom is almost like a handheld device of ancient bird or rodent catch device. So it's a kind of a capture. Somebody came up with the way to capture the small animals as a meat source, right? So this field capturing of animals eventually become the concept of complete, or something is finished, it's done. Complete in the sense of it's finished. So it's, I guess, ancient times when you capture something. Imagine you set up a trap or something, right? You cannot control the bird or rodent where they are going to be, where they're going to show up. So you wait there to try to capture them. So there is a time lapse in between. So once it's captured, that's the closing time. So it's a time unaccountable or unplannable at the beginning. The thing only shut down or finish whenever it's captured, it's done. So that, I guess, is the meaning of why this bird or rodent capturing device in the field was used to mean it's complete, because that's a way to express when things come to an end. It's when the device did capture something, and that's, at least for that instance or the mission is accomplished. That's the definitive end of it. So this ending, this finish, then captured through language. That means finish other business as well. It's not just capturing animals. That's 毕. We have a repetition of that. And then we have 恭 and 敬. So 恭 and 敬 are two kind of attitudes or postures or social behavior standards or ideals you're encouraged to take. 恭 came from this 20 sign, which is 10, 10 connected at the bottom. That's 20. 20 means plenitude, right? Is there a word called plenitude? Plentiful. Okay, that means a lot of something. 20 is pretty sizable back then. So two hands trying to share that. This is two hand symbol, three finger hand, and the bottom. We plug in a heart in this practice of sharing. So the heart symbol came from this chamber, and then with the tubes plug in, so input tube, output tube, and the tube to power the heart itself. That's the basic anatomy of heart. So heartily sharing something plentiful, and that's salute. That symbolizes like you and like those two individuals, right? They came from the same community. So capturing something like a rodent, that means it's food for the whole clan, right? So we heartily feel happy about being able to share that food source. And so but still like a who capture, right? It's whoever the hunter that capture the rodent, they got salute. They got the honor, at least. They don't keep it to themselves, right? Because it's a communal, but they got saluted. Whoever did this favor to the community get saluted. So that's the origin of that. 敬, okay. Right hand, three finger hand symbol again. Now we have this vertical line with horizontal line, this symbol. Somebody say this symbol symbolized device back then to fortune tell, to do fortune telling. So instead of like this glass ball in Western culture that's read into the future into this glass ball, this very two-dimensional device. I mean, I guess ancient times it got to be three-dimensional, and how it was used, what exactly that is unknown to us. So we only got this throughout thousands of years of this hand holding something like that, but we don't exactly know how that thing looks like or even how that functions, right? How ancient fortune telling was practiced, we don't exactly know, but hand held something. And the left side have this is the head of the sheep. So this wedge, okay, wedge shape with horizontal line. So this wedge are the horns of the sheep, and the horizontal line, the first row is represent the fluffy hair, the furs of the sheep. So the fully represented sheep would be three horizontal lines, represent the volume, the body, right? Like fill it out, and then the tiny little 1 feet over there. That's the full symbol of sheep. But when it's in combination with other symbols, we don't have so much space to put in the whole sheep. So only the head of the sheep and two hair, the first row of horizontal hair or fur represent here. So sheep again represents the best quality of the premium meat. So that's the best meat source back then, used as animal sacrifice or offerings to the divine. And so sheep eventually symbolize something good in nature, something the best. So that's the, I guess, moral high ground almost to aim for. And then the mouse symbol here, this is the mouse symbol wrapped in this big question mark shape. So it's like the mouse was wrapped, and with the sheep, this guideline of how you want to behave, sheep-like, with your mouth sealed. So not sealed, you still have an opening, right? But it's wrapped. So the symbol almost, to me, I can interpret it as before you utter a word, you have to align yourself first to see if what you're going to say is virtuous, as if you are having that sheep represented quality as the best meat, the sacrifice. Okay, so this verbal constraint on people, actually the right hand is a kind of a corporal punishment symbol, because we saw that in other phrases about disciplinary stance. So right hand holding this device apparently is not fortune telling anymore. It's order giving as a corporal punishment, some type of tool to punish people. So this corporal punishment, and also this ideal of talking considerably as if having that sheep-like quality, then melt together, become this caution. And I would say this disciplinary behavior standard came from, okay, if you say it wrong, you got corporal punishment, right? And also you have this guidance of speak as if you're morally pure and self-sacrificing as sheep, and your mouth, like you don't really just come to your mind and say it out. You have to be considerate of the consequence of saying it wrong, and also the positive and the ideal end of saying is as kind, as virtuous as sheep. So that whole thing represents this behavior level expectation of people. That's the posture you take to show respect, to be cautious because the consequence of saying it wrong. Okay, complete salute, complete caution. It's a Chinese way to say be respectful on a behavior level. And according to some scholar, this gong is on the outside, the appearance of, you're humble, you're respectful, and the jing is your internally, you really respect from your heart. But now after looking at the two words of what they represent, what it made up from, I think it's reversed. Jing is this external behavior level sense, because it has this handheld tool, the consequence of say it wrong, you get punished. And this is it's about a verbal behavior, right? Specifically, like what you say that matters most, not exactly what you do, but okay, what you do probably is part of it. But in everyday practice, saying is most of your behavior. And what you say, you have to wrap it to discipline how you say things virtually. So that's behavior level to show respect. You just speak your mind. You don't talk back, basically. You have to be considerate of what you say. And gong actually, because it has a heart symbol in there, so that's more internal processing, like you're sharing the joy of somebody accomplish something. That's salute. So that's more internal in your heart expression. So this internal, external together with this completion, like completely, like you max out your capacity to congratulate somebody, max out the capacity to show your respect or, submissiveness. That's the encouraged quality over here. And in English, it's hard to imagine people put themselves in such a position, right? It's really hard to imagine. So I put up this image of as if somebody is praying. And at least in this moment, in the sunlit picture of some semi-smiling random guy doing this hand gesture, is an oriental way of praying. And that's kind of humbleness of individual in face of the divine, the universe. And that's the way to show respect. And definitely this person is not going to say mean things. Like you won't expect mean words from him. So that's 敬 behavior level. And probably Gong as well, right? Internally, he probably is pretty gratitude toward whatever good life he is having now. And that's Gong. So that's more relatable in that way to contemporary language user. And that's a kind of respectfulness. But tracing back, we know it's, especially this Jing, it's quite some behavior expectation back then. It's out of the historical context back then. It's not as relatable from 21st century. Okay, cash into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.